Lesbian Detectives. Unsolved cases. She's still missing. Yeah, they haven't found her yet. Well, let's talk about it.
They say he vanished without a trace.
What?
Could it be a psychotic break or a tragic accident? Police don't know where the body went. Unsolved murders, body still missing. That's unheard. Where's the witness? Lesbian detectives, what's going on? City on high alert, this out the norm. He did what, the who? Man, that ain't real, these crimes ain't true. Then come uncover these theories with us. We live right now, tuning in is a must.
Right now. Lesbian Detectives. Lesbian Detectives. We about to start the show, so get your popcorn ready, let's go. Pay attention to the message I present to you, the Lesbian Detectives.
This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra,
And I'm Elizabeth.
and we are here talking about missing and unsolved murders.
We are discussing cases that you have forgotten about or never even heard of.
So sit back, relax, and let's start this podcast. Welcome back, everybody. And I know, we wasn't here last week. A lot of things happened and we just couldn't record. It was just one of those weeks. And we apologize from the bottom of our little heart. But hey, we are back and we are back with a new episode. Now let's get into the episode. It was a early summer morning, the kind of quiet that wraps around the city before the sun fully rise. The streets were empty, the air still, and the world seemed ordinary, peaceful even. But in one small corner, something was about to happen that would shatter that calm forever. A routine morning, a young person starting their day, a place of ordinary work, and then, in the span of minutes, everything changed. A disappearance so sudden, so unexpected, that it left a trail of questions, fear, and heartbreak that will linger for decades. No warning, no struggle left behind, just the silence of a place that moments before had been alive, now empty, in a mystery that no one could explain. This is a story of that morning, of a life interrupted, a family left searching in the shadow of unanswered questions that still haunt the community today. This is the case of Jennifer Day. Jennifer was born on June 30th, 1970 in North Dallas. By June 1985, she was 14 years old, a bright, lively, and curious teenager who loved life. Friends and family describe her as sweet, responsible, and full of energy. She loved reading, listening to music, and spending time with her loved ones. She had dreams and aspirations, and her part-time job at Preston Road Donuts gave her a small sense of independence, a chance to earn her own money, and the pride of contributing to her family while learning responsibility. Her family remember her as a girl who always had a smile, a kind word. Teachers admired her. Her classmates loved her sense of humor, and everyone who knew her felt that she had a light that couldn't be dimmed. That summer of 1985, she was just beginning to embrace her independence and the small freedoms that come with working at the donut shop, a place where she was known for her cheerfulness and dedication. On Sunday morning, June 23rd, 1985, Jennifer arrived at Preston Road Donuts, located at Preston Road in Forest Lane, just before 5:30 a.m. The smell of fresh coffee filled the shop, the hum of the early morning traffic outside, and the soft murmurs of morning news broadcasts on the radio. A sense of ordinary calm. She called the shop owner to confirm she had arrived, chatting briefly before beginning her shift alone. Jennifer worked diligently, serving customers, making coffee, counting change, and tidying the shop. She had done this many times before, and this morning felt just like any other. By 6:20 a.m., she had finished serving her last customer. Then silence. 15 minutes later, around 6:35 a.m., a man entered the shop and found it completely empty. Jennifer was nowhere to be found. Her purse, jewelry, and apron were left behind, along with the untouched cash. No apparent struggle, just gone. A witness parked across the street around 6:32 a.m. reports seeing a man and a female enter a large, dark-colored car in front of the shop and leave the parking lot. Was this Jennifer and her abductor? Did she know him? Or was it a stranger lying in wait? No one knows for sure. Her family's worst fear were confirmed almost immediately. Her brother, Jeff Day, recalled seeing the police officers at the shop, feeling the crush of the weight. In my mind, she had probably been abducted, and it was brutal, he said. I have had a hard time even talking about it now. 3 days later, on June 26, 1985, a crew worker near Preston Road and White Road in Plano, 11 miles north from the donut shop, discovered Jennifer's body. She had been stabbed multiple times in the neck and was found nude. The attack was brutal and also chilling. A young life, vibrant and full of promise, ended in the quiet pre-dawn hours of a summer morning. The discovery sent shockwaves through North Dallas. The city, once considered safe, now felt vulnerable. How could such a thing happen in a routine, everyday setting? The question haunted not only her family, but everyone who had heard the story. Immediately after Jennifer's disappearance, the police reconstructed what happened in a crucial 15 minutes window. Investigators reviewed her phone call at 5:30 a.m., her last known interaction with a customer at 6:20 a.m., and the empty shop at 6:35 a.m. They interviewed employees, neighbors, and anyone who might have been in the area. Every detail mattered. One of the earliest and most intriguing leads came from a witness who was parked across the street at 6:32 a.m. He reported seeing a male and a female enter a large dark-colored car in front of the donut shop and drive away. The witness accounted suggests that Jennifer may have known the person or persons involved, but police could not confirm it. Another report emerged of a white 1970 car seen in the area around the same time, a car that seemed out of place in the otherwise quiet early morning neighborhood. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood for tips, hoping someone will remember the vehicle or recognize the people involved, but the trail quickly went cold. Investigators considered every angle. Could have been a random stranger taking advantage of her being alone? Was it someone who had been watching the shop for days, planning the abduction? The brutal nature of the murder, multiple stab wounds to the neck. Suggested anger or a personal intent. As the days turned into weeks, detectives followed leads across Dallas and Plano, interviewing people who might have seen Jennifer or her abductor. They reviewed every tip, no matter how small. A fleeing sighting, an anonymous phone call. Despite tireless work, nothing led to an arrest. The case went cold, a mystery frozen in time. Even now, investigators continue to study the timeline, the witness reports, in the area where Jennifer was abducted. Her shift at the donut shop, seemingly ordinary, may have been the factor that drew the killer attention. That routine that made her an easy target. But why her? And who could commit such a violent crime against a child so full of life? These questions remain unanswered.
For the Day family, the uncertainty was almost unbearable. And those first days, hours turned into nights filled with worry, despair, and desperate hope. Every knock on the door and every false lead was a fresh wound. Jeff Days, Jennifer's older brother, recalls the helplessness he felt watching the police work tirelessly, but knowing that the clock was ticking and the chances of finding her alive were slim. "You feel powerless," he said years later. "You replay every moment, every decision, wondering if you could have done something to prevent it. But there's nothing you can do, and that's the worst part." Patsy Day, Jennifer's mother, threw herself into action, coordinating search parties, speaking to the media outlets, and trying to piece together what had happened. She also became an advocate for the families facing tragedy, hoping that keeping Jennifer's story alive would prevent other families from suffering the same heartache. Over the years, Jeff and his family refused to let Jennifer fade into memory. Every birthday, every anniversary, and memorial became a reminder of her life, her laughter, and her potential. They shared stories of her kindness, her curiosity, and her dreams, making sure she was remembered not just as a victim, but as a vibrant girl whose life mattered. Even decades later, the pain of unanswered questions lingers. Who took Jennifer? Could they still be out there? Her family holds on to hope that one day a breakthrough, a witness coming forward, a tip, or modern DNA evidence will finally provide justice. Their dedication to keep her memory alive ensures that Jennifer Lee Day will never be forgotten, and that her story continues to reach the hearts of those who hear it. Decades pass, but Jennifer's body never truly went away. In 2024, her brother Jeff Day took a courageous step. He reached out to the Plano Police Department to ask if there was anything that could have been done to revisit his sister's murder. After nearly 40 years, he still held on to hope that the truth could be uncovered. Soon after, Detective Aaron Benzik took a personal interest in Jennifer's case, part of a renewed cold case initiative. Detective Benzik was determined to use every available resource and every technological advancement to finally bring answers to the Day family. He was also supported by Solve the Case, a nonprofit organization Jeff had founded in 2023, designed to help unsolved murders, missing persons cases, and serial offenses across the country. Modern forensic science has opened the doors that investigators in 1985 could only dream of. DNA technology, which has advanced dramatically over the last 4 decades, offers the possibility of identifying perpetrators from evidence that was previously untestable. Detective Benzik had focused on examining items from the donut shop, clothing, and other preserved evidence to see if the new DNA techniques could reveal a breakthrough. "Others before me have kept this case updated," Benzik explained. "With modern DNA processing and public engagement, we have a real opportunity to solve this case. Even small tips, memories, or details that seem insignificant at the time could finally point us towards the person responsible for Jennifer's murder." The investigation has also embraced public outreach in ways that were unimaginable in 1985. Social media campaigns, cold case websites, and community forums are being used to remind the public that Jennifer's story is still very much alive. Witnesses who may have been silent for decades are being encouraged to come forward, reassured that the information could be the key to justice. For the Day family, these efforts represent a lifeline. It's not just about forensic breakthroughs, it's about hope. Hope that someone will remember a detail that was overlooked. Hope that the community can help bring the mystery to light. And hope that Jennifer's life and story will finally be honored with answers. The renewed investigation is a reminder that the time does not erase responsibility, and that even after decades, a case can move forward. Jennifer Lee Day may have been taken far too soon, but her story continues to inspire action, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Jennifer Leigh Day was more than a case file or a statistic. She was a sweet young girl who loved life, cherished by her family and friends. Her obituary captures it simply. Jennifer Leigh Day was a sweet young lady that loved life. She was taken much too early, but she will never be forgotten by her family and those who knew her. Her story reminds us of how quickly a normal morning can turn into a tragedy, and even decades later, justice can still be sought. The case remains open, and the Plano Police Department continues to receive tips from the public. One small clue could finally reveal the truth about what happened to Jennifer on that June morning. Before we end this episode, let's take a moment to remember Jennifer Leigh Day. She was more than a headline or a statistic. She was a vibrant 14-year-old girl full of life, curiosity, and dreams. She loved her family, her friends, and the small joys of everyday life. She had her whole future ahead of her, and it was stolen far too soon. Jennifer's story is heartbreaking, but it is also a story of hope. Hope that someone somewhere remembers something. Hope that justice can still be served even after decades. What do you think took Jennifer that morning of June 23rd, 1985? Was it someone she trusted or a stranger waiting in the shadows? If you have any information, even something that seemed insignificant at the time, the Plano Police Department encourages you to come forward. Jennifer Leigh Day deserves justice. Her family deserves answers. And the memory of this vibrant, sweet girl deserves to be honored. This is the case of Jennifer Day. Now let's get into some theories.
Theories.
Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives. What type of thoughts you thinking? What theories running through your mind? I'm thinking all types of suspicion. Uncover the truth, what we can find. Witness say they saw somebody creeping out the back door. What you think they did it for? That's so crazy, I'm not sure. They found a car, where could she be? Here go another puzzle piece. Research and do your history. It's plenty unsolved mysteries. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories, yeah. Let's get into some theories. Everyone is a suspect until proven guilty. Let's get into some theories. Lesbian detectives.
You or me?
Go ahead.
With this case, it's crazy because I have passed where her body was found, the donut shop was, because we are in the DFW area. So we have been to Plano thousands of times. So it's like, it's crazy hearing this story. And you're like, oh my God, like I passed this area. Like it's just, wow, it's just flabbergasting sometimes. But I don't think it was a stranger. I don't think it was. I think it was somebody that had been to that shop many, many times and probably had a crush on her. Even though she was 14, you know how these predators are. I feel like he was, wanted her. And I think Jennifer probably said no. She was like, no, like you're too old. Like, she probably turned him down and he didn't like it. And he probably threatened her like, hey, you need to leave with me or I'm going to kill you or something like that. I do wonder like why she wasn't attacked at the donut shop, but I feel like where that location is, I don't know how it was back then, but it is a busy area. Now it is. I don't know if it was busy back then, but it was busy. It's busy now. So I wonder, he like, okay, I got to get her out because 15 minutes, like the last customer was at 6:20. She went missing at 6:35. So he didn't have long. He had to act fast. So I just felt like I wonder if she ever talked to one of her friends. Sometimes young girls, we go talk to our friend like, yeah, I like this man. He just keep going to the donut shop and he just give me a vibe, Or she probably said, I just feel weird around this person. Probably never gave a name, but just said something in a conversation with a friend. You throw something out when you talk to a friend and you just say something random about how you feel. Sometimes they would catch it or sometimes they would walk over it. So I wonder if her friends remember something that she said in a conversation. I remember she said something about somebody. It probably was a quick statement she made. Because I feel like the type of girl she was, I feel like she probably would have made a little quick statement. Because it seemed like her boss was like very, kind of protective a little bit. Because he said like, hey, when she gets to work, make sure you call me, make sure you open it. Like she had to call her boss and let him know like, hey, like I'm here, everything's working smoothly. So it seemed like he was kind of watching over her a little bit, because she had to be at work at 5:30 something. As a 14-year-old, that's kind of hard. I'm just gonna be honest. It's hard now as an adult, and I gotta be at work at 7 something. I just think it was somebody that she knew, somebody that been to that shop many, many times. And I wonder if like the owner will look back and like, okay, this man always came in, but he always came in during her shift. Now that she went missing, he hasn't came back yet. He probably came once or twice, like ask questions like, oh, like, have they heard anything? Have they, found anything about the man? But I feel like after she was unalive and her body was found, I think that man probably left town or he just stopped going to the shop. What do you think?
Or it could have been somebody at the donut shop.
Yeah, it could have been too.
Because they're going to know her schedule, when she comes in, when she leaves. And they could have gone away with it. They could have done it themselves and then just reported it, But we'll never know. Unfortunately, there was no surveillance cameras. Yeah, so she was just dumped somewhere on Preston Road, and that's the end of it. I don't know if the DNA was still kept and if they're able to run any tests now, but it's
hard.
It's gonna be hard because of the information that we don't have. But I know that hope is still out there for the family, and that's good. Never lose hope, and I just hope that one day you get the answers that you need.
And it seemed like the police is really working on it. I just felt like they just didn't have any leads. Like that was the hardest part. Like they had nothing to go on.
It's a needle in a haystack for sure.
Yeah, they just need like one thing, like okay, let's go this direction, but they don't, and I hate that for them because her brother's like, okay, like we need answers now. It's been over 40 some years. We need the answers. My sister was 14, and she was taken away so young.
Right.
This is hard. This is hard. It is hard because we've been to the area before, so this is a hard case. But like we said in the episode, if you guys know anything about what happened to Jennifer Day, please contact the Plano Police Department and tell them what you know. Let's help her family get the answers that they need. We are on all podcast platforms. We are on YouTube. We are on all social media platforms. Please come check us out. Tell your friends about us. Tell everybody about us. 5-star rated, and also like, comment, and subscribe. This is Lesbian Detectives. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And don't forget, everybody's a suspect.
So proven innocent.
Bye.